Good afternoon, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Disidore here to do the fourth and fifth grade read aloud of Once, our historical fiction taking place during the Holocaust. Before we begin, I just wanted to go over a couple things. The setting has changed. We are no longer, Felix, our main character, is no longer in the orphanage, which was in a convent. He is now in Poland, walking the countryside. And let me show you some pictures. I got some Google images of here of what the countryside looks like in Poland. Okay, we got some mountains in the background. See the greenery, some farms. So this is basically what we can visualize as he is walking. And he is going along trying to find the river. Okay, but these are just some what you can visualize in your brain as he's walking. Those are some things that can help you imagine what's happening and where he is and what he's walking, where he's walking through. So we are up to chapter 7 of Once. Let me also go to, I'm getting right now on my computer, our notes that we have been taking. I've been taking a little bit of the notes. So like I said, the setting has changed. We are no longer in the convent with the nuns and the orphanage. We are now in the Polish countryside. And let me find my cursor. There it is. The Poland countryside. Okay, we have our main character who is Felix. He doesn't seem to know much about what's going on with the Holocaust and the danger he is being a Jew in Poland right now. He's what we would call an optimist. An optimist means someone who is positive, a very positive person. Okay, he doesn't let anything get him down. He has a very good imagination. Okay, he writes stories and he imagines a lot. And like I said here, he ran away from the orphanage to save his parents' bookshop from getting burned down. He doesn't want the books getting burned down because the Nazis already came to the orphanage and they burnt all the books in the orphanage. And we know that they burnt those books because they were Jewish books and the Nazis hate the Jews. But Felix thinks they just were book burners because they were mad. They were mad about them being overpriced or something. So one of the things that we're wondering is, are Felix's parents alive or dead? Okay, we don't really seem to even know where they are. What story did his parents tell him when he dropped him off at the orphanage? Because he doesn't know what's going on in the country. Again, like we said, he does not know the danger. So let's go to chapter 7. And let me just take a look at how long this chapter is. I'll try to get through the whole thing today. I think we'll be able to. Once I walked all night and all the next day, except for a short sleep in a forest, and all night again, and then I was home. In our town, in our street. It's just like I remember. Well, almost. Remember, it's been 3 years and 8 months since he's been back there. The street is narrow like I remember, and the buildings are all 2 levels high and made of stone and bricks with slate roofs like I remember. But the weird thing is, there are hardly any food shops. At the orphanage, I used to spend hours in class daydreaming about all the food shops in our street. The cake shop next to the ice cream shop, next to the roast meat shop, next to the jelly and jam shop, next to the fried potato shop, next to the chocolate-covered licorice shop. Sounds awesome. Was I making all that up? So now all those food shops are gone. Something else is different too. Dawn was ages ago, but there's nobody out and about. Our street used to be crowded as soon as it got light. People doing things and going places even though they were still yawning. Farm animals complaining because they didn't like being on the cobbles. Kids pinching things from market stalls. This is very different. The whole street is deserted. I walk along from the corner wondering if my memory is wrong. That can happen when you're hungry and tired and your feet hurt because your shoes are too big. Perhaps I'm confused. Perhaps I'm remembering all the stories I've made up about our noisy, crowded street. Perhaps I made the crowds up too. Then I see it. Our shop, there in the next corner. And I know I haven't made that up. Everything's the same. The peeling green paint on the door. The metal post for customers to lean their bikes on. The front step where Simon Glick threw up as he was leaving my 5th birthday party. And there's not a single Nazi burn mark anywhere on the shop. I feel very relieved, but a bit weak from hunger, as well as I have to stop and hold on to the wall of Mr. Rosenfeld's house. Now I'm so close to home. I'm starting to feel sad. I wish Mom and Dad were here, instead of away somewhere persuading their favorite author to write faster or trying to sell books on gun safety to soldiers. I take a deep breath. So that's where he thinks his parents are? Talking to a favorite author or trying to sell books? Interesting. I haven't got time to be sad. I've got a plan to carry out. Hide the books before the Nazis get here. Then I'll have plenty of time to find a railway ticket receipt and be reunited with Mom and Dad. First, I've got to get into the shop. I walk over and try the door. It's locked. I'm not surprised. Mom's dad was a locksmith before he was killed in a ferry sinking accident. Mom's very big on locks, except on toilet doors and ferries. I peer in through the shop window. If I have to smash my way in, I must make sure the flying bits don't damage the books. I stare for a long time. I have to because when you're shocked and horrified and feeling sick, your eyes don't work very well, even with glasses. There aren't any books. All the books in the shop are gone. The shelves are still there, but no books. Just old coats and hats and underwear. I can't believe it. The Nazis can't have burnt the books already, or the lock would be broken, and there would be ash and weeping customers everywhere. Have Mom and Dad changed their business to secondhand clothes? Never. They love books too much. Mom's not interested in clothes. She always is saying that to Mrs. Glick. Have I got the wrong shop? I kneel at the front door. It is the right shop. Here are my initials where I scratched them in the green paint the day before I went to the orphanage, so the other kids around here wouldn't forget me. What's going on? Have Mom and Dad hidden the books? Suddenly I hear voices coming from our flat, over the shop, a man and a woman. Thank God! Thank you, God! And the others. Mom, I yell. Dad! Mom and Dad stop talking, but they don't reply. They don't even open the window. I can see their faint shapes moving behind the curtains. Why aren't they flinging the windows open and yelling with joy? Of course, it's been 3 years and 8 months. My voice has changed. I look different. Plus, I'm wearing a rabbit hunter's clothes. They'll recognize me once they see my notebook. The shop door is locked, so I race around the back up the steps. The back door of the flat is open. Mom! I yell, bursting in. Dad! Then I stop in my tracks. While I was running up the steps, part of me feared our kitchen furniture would be gone, just like the books. But it's all here, except exactly where it was. The stove where Mom used to make me carrot soup. The table where I had all my meals and my breadcrumb fights with Dad. The fireplace where Mom and Dad used to give me my bath and dry my book if I dropped it in the water. Who are you? Snarls a voice. I spin around. Standing in the doorway from the living room, glaring at me, is a woman. It's not Mom. Mom is slim with dark hair and a gentle pale face. This woman is muscly with hair like straw. Her face is angry and red. Her neck and arms are too. I don't know what to say. Get out, shouts the woman. Grab him, says a man who isn't Dad, coming in from the bedroom. We'll hand him over. I back toward the door. The man comes at me. I turn and run down the steps. Halfway down, I crash into a kid coming up. As I scramble over him, I see his face. He's older than he was, but I still recognize him. Wilkter Gradzin, one of the Catholic kids from my class when I went to school here. I don't stop. I keep running. Clear off, Jew, yells Winkter behind me. This is our house now. So he finally gets back to the bookshop. He gets back to his hometown. Nothing looks the same. Everything's deserted. There aren't any people. Someone has even occupied his house, a Catholic family. So it seems like all the Jews are gone. They've been taken away out of their homes, out of their shops. And now this other family that isn't Jewish is living in his house. They've stopped chasing me. I crouch in my secret hiding place at the edge of town and listen. No more yelling. The crowd that was after me must have given up. They mustn't know about the hollow sentry space in the ancient ruined castle wall. When Dad showed me this place years ago, he told me it was our secret. So I never told anybody, and he mustn't have either. Thanks, Dad, and thank you, God, and the others, that I wasn't able to fill it up with books like I planned, or there wouldn't be room for me in here. Through the arrow slit, I can see the townspeople walking back toward their homes. Now they're gone. I'm shaking all over. Why do they hate me and Mom and Dad so much? They couldn't all have bought books they didn't like. And why is the Radzin family living in our place? Have Mom and Dad sold it to them? Why would they do that? The Radzins aren't booksellers. Mr. Radzin used to empty toilets. Mrs. Radzin had a stall at the market selling old clothes and underwear. Victor Radzin hates books. When he was in my class, he used to pick his nose and wipe it on the pages. I lean against the crumbling stone wall of my little cave and have a very sad thought. Victor has my room now. My bed and my desk and my chair and my oil lamp and my bookshelf and my books. I think of him lying on the bed, blowing his nose on one of my books. Then I have a much happier thought. America, of course. The visas for America must have come through. The ones Mom and Dad tried to get before I went to the orphanage. That's why they've sold the shop, so they can open another one in America. Dad told me a story about a Jewish bookseller in America once. The bookshelves there are solid gold. Oh no. Mom and Dad must be on their way to the orphanage to pick me up. Doesn't matter. They won't leave without me. I can be back at the orphanage in 2 days, two and a bit to allow for walking up the mountain. Of course, that's probably where all the books are. Mom and Dad taking them up to Mother Minka so she can buy the ones she wants before they ship the rest off to America. Phew, I'm feeling much calmer now. It all makes sense. I wipe the sweat off my glasses, repack my rags and my feet into my shoes, and wriggle out through the thick ungrowth covering the entrance to the sentry place. Then I freeze. Somebody's behind me. I just heard the grass rustle. I turn around. 2 kids are staring at me, a boy and a girl, barefoot in the dust. We're playing grabbing Jews in the street, says the little boy. I'm a Jew, says the little girl. He's a Nazi. He's going to grab me and take me away. What do you want to be? I don't say anything. You be a Nazi, says the little girl, squinting at me in the sunlight. I shake my head. All right, you be a Jew, she says. That means you have to be sad, because the Nazis took your mom and dad away. I stare at her. She gives me an impatient sigh. All the Jew people got taken, she says. My dad told me, so you have to be sad, all right? Relax, I tell myself. It's just a game. But panic is churning inside me. He doesn't want to play, says the little boy. The little boy is right. I don't. So he's learning little bit about the Holocaust and what's going on just by those kids playing that game. They're playing Jews and Nazis. The Nazis are grabbing and taking all the Jews away. So, very sad time for Felix. He's beginning to realize realize what's really going on here. Okay, have a wonderful weekend. Wish your mothers a happy Mother's Day. Be extra nice to them on Sunday. And I hope to see you back here on Monday to see what's going on with Felix. Take care. Miss you all.